Welcome to Biggest Geekus. We're your hosts. I'm Randy.
And I'm Joe.
This is episode 120 of our show. The date is Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023. Happy New Year, homie.
Happy New Year to you and Happy New Year to everybody out there.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we got a bit of a crowd going here.
Yeah. Hey, welcome, Errant Dragon. Mr. Boivan's in the house. Green Apple, Darth Theek. Martinson, Jim Scott. Sweet. Great Scott. Got a new guy, Pureblood Patriot. He was sent by Shadow. Thank you, Shadow.
Thank you, Shadow.
Green Apple backed us up with a little pimpish comment. So that was cool. So
very cool. Very cool. Thank you, Green Apple, very much.
Yeah, thank you, man. We appreciate it. We podcasted last on Thursday, so we didn't have a huge time in between. What's up, Legion? Meth is in. Howdy, bud.
Howdy, indeed.
But, and I've already podcasted today, or I was on a stream this morning, so that was pretty cool. Joe sent me a little text. He had to work and T-shirted Historian. Thank you very much. He had us on his. He wanted to have both of us on there, I think, but we made it, and I was on there with Grim Jim and the Dungeon Delver, a couple of guys I did not know. So it was cool. I really enjoyed it. We talked about how having to buy dice would be a barrier to the hobby.
That came from Twitter.
It did, and it was like, we try not to be too mean, but dude, really? Come on. Everybody you've seen my big bowl of dice. That's what I told them. Anybody comes to my table, having dice is not a barrier.
Right. So we went back and forth. I don't know if he showed any of the threads concerning it.
No.
But I was going back and forth with Legion on different things that are gatekeeping.
Right.
You know, got all the way to breathing. Breathing is gatekeeping, you know, requiring life is, bad for the hobby.
Hold on. Welcome to Biggest Geekus. Oh, shut up, Malachi. He's here. We need to start over. Sorry, dude. Begin again.
No, see, we are old men. Once we start going in a direction, it's not good to change it.
No.
Because we break things like our hips and our knees. It's no good.
Yeah. I was actually up this morning when you texted me. I was in my had my jacket, had my workout clothes, had my bag. I was ready to hit the gym. What? Why did you get suspended this time? Legion of Myth, the Biggest Geek, is my account is suspended. So did you use the R word? I think I heard that from you. I think he used the R word.
Right. He started out. Oh yeah, because then he switched over to his personal account. I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah. Sorry, dude. That sucks. That's a bummer.
Somebody. I mean, it's really weird. Yeah.
L. There you are, buddy. Joe and Randy are beyond the prostate age to stop and restart. Yep. True. He was not completely wrong. Oh, but anyway, yeah. So you guys had a discussion there, and I mean, the poor guy. I mean, Malachi was saying he said, according to Crafty, the D20 complainer was trying to sell his new game. Oh,
right. That was. I didn't get that initially, but apparently, that was the deal.
On T-Shirted Show, though, we talked about, God, there's so many ways we expanded to play this game for nothing. I mean, Basic Fantasy alone, you can get everything they have for free on PDF. And how many games have SRDs? Even 13th Age has an SRD.
SRDs, quick start rules, all kinds of things.
Everywhere you turn, man. So that's just, Legion's got it. Delusional.
Oh, that's why they haven't restored Biggest Geekus account, because apparently they still don't like the word retarded, because that's what got him. Well, to tard, that's what got it suspended twice. I said it twice in one tweet. That was bad enough.
Dude, I'm tired of them. It was, I think Legion a couple weeks ago had mentioned us. We were talking about the no words, and I finally found that Stanford list. Do you have that? Have you seen that, Joe?
Which one?
Stanford University list of words you shouldn't use.
Oh, I've seen it. I've looked through
It
it.
is miles long.
Sure.
So
There was one just recently. Right. It's not a word you can't use, but in the same vein, a lady said napping is good because it is not revolutionary. She used a different word, but it basically disrupts white supremacy and the patriarchy, capitalism, because those things demand that you are productive, and napping is counterproductive. So, she said, I'm good enough. Whatever.
oh, Flady's in the house. He was there with us this morning with the T-shirt historian. That was cool. Legion says, what was it? Hold on. I highlighted my own statement. It probably didn't help that when I posted in my appeal, if calling me a fascist is okay, but me saying retarded is not, then you're
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy town. Oh my gosh.
But, you can't point out the inconsistency with their things because inconsistency to them is a feature, down with the patriarchy and crap. You can't be consistent.
Oh, Eric Dragon. What's he talking about? Apparently the PBS attacked the OSR. Who's the PBS?
Public Broadcasting System.
Really?
As L had posted something similar up a bit higher.
Oh, I missed it.
PBS
okay.
article.
Oh, son. Yeah, L did. He said PBS just put an article saying D&D players prior to 5e are racist, sexist, transphobes. Your tax dollars at work. Right on, dude.
See, they're supposed to survive on donations, but they get government funding, and they actually do advertisements now, and they get all kinds of corporate funding. So, anyway, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Words you can't say, things you can't do, blah blah blah. You can't. I do what I want, so I don't know. I don't know what to tell those folks.
No, and that's a big thing. We had a, like I said, with the T-shirt today, had a great discussion. I never met Grim Jim. He and I had a good back and forth. I mean, a productive one. We were talking about the ways, because we both knew we were politically different and faith wise and all sorts of things. But even he's not down with the tell people what to do thing. And you need to let people be what they are and quit getting your panties in a bunch. And if anybody's not heard James Raggy's recent comments, about 45 minutes, he reads a 9-page thing on his YouTube channel, something about he's about to destroy his, I don't know what it is, something about
financial suicide or something like
yeah,
that.
something like suicide, but not really. And he made some very strong comments. And I'm not a Lamentations guy, but dude, we have some commonality here. These are people that they want the games, make your games, play your games, and quit freaking policing people.
Right. I agree. I mean, I get snarky online, but when it comes down to it, if someone wants to play a particular way, that's on them. I mean, I may not like it at all, but what you're going to.
Right on. I mean, with Grimm and them, I wouldn't play the way he does. Joe said he has I don't know, strippers or porn girls sometimes play with him or play, games. And whatever. That's not my cup of tea, but even Raggy's Lamentations a little too weirdly sexed up for me. But Malachi's got it, dude. If you got 45 minutes, it's worth a listen. I didn't know the guy, but I kind of respect what he has to say. If anybody has an in with him, he should really consider Big Geek Emporium. He really should. Yeah, we would not ever bother him. So, I mean, he'd have to do something pretty extreme for us to even consider. I don't know what he could do. I'm not sure what he could do except to have something that's illegal.
Yeah, he won't go illegal.
No, if he's illegal.
None of the folks that are controversial, quote unquote, on the more reasonable end, they're not doing anything illegal. They're just more just on the risque side.
There was a cat called the Dungeon Delver, an old school dude. Really liked him. I want to get him and Grim on the show at some point, and they both agreed that they would at some point. I like the Dungeon Delver guy. I signed up for his YouTube, and I think I signed up on Raggies, and yeah, it's kind of a kind of a kind of a sad state of affairs for that stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. They can be safely ignored. We can do our thing at our game tables, support the creators that we like. The folks that are hooked up on Big Geek Emporium, none of them tell you how to play and don't care. They say, here's some good stuff, here's some material for you to use, and that's it. And none of it's very expensive, except perhaps some of the print on demand stuff can be a little pricey, but printing individual books is pricey. That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Happy New Year, long shot.
Yes, sir. Happy New Year. But yeah, that was fun this morning. Like I said, I was heading to the gym, and I was like, I'll get on for 10 minutes if you'll have me. And then he's like, well, I have no way to get on Discord. We finally got it figured out. And I was in there. I was there for almost 2 hours. So I don't know what I was thinking.
10 minutes.
Randy
talking just for 10 minutes? I don't think so.
Impossible. Aaron Dragon says he would buy LTFP.
Legend of Flame Princess.
Wasn't as gross. And I think Mr. Bravan said the same thing. He's got some good rules. I've got the free version. It looked pretty cool. Plady said he got his library mostly organized this afternoon. I said he needs to come to my house and do the same here. This needs organization. So please help.
I have some news. Hold on.
Oh yeah, hit us with it, Joseph.
So we have another ebook. I think it's a fantasy book on the Emporium, along with I guess last week RH Snow. Snow put her things up there. Some of it she hasn't properly labeled as ebooks, so I'm going to get that fixed. But I believe there are 4 of them, so that brings the total to 5 ebooks so far on.
Cool.
It's cool. Yeah. But that's not really the news that I was referring to. I ordered the Christmas surprise package from Palladium on last Thursday.
Yep.
And I received it Saturday.
Oh, they're fast, dude. They don't play.
Yes. And
nice. So you got Ultimate. What else did you get, bud?
Got the Ultimate edition. I got Federation of Magic.
Oh, that's great for you. Yeah.
This is for the fantasy version of the game, Mysteries of Magic.
Nice.
With a little sticky note with a personal message. Yeah.
They're good dudes, man.
This is Rift's Book of Magic.
You went hard.
Check it out. It's almost as thick, if not as thick, as the main book.
Wow.
It's a thick one.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. I hit long shot. Sorry. It might be good, but I wanted to get Legion of Myth. It helps you live in Michigan. Yeah, it does.
It does.
It really does. Yeah.
And I got Rifter 85.
Nice.
And that's the one I believe Sean Robertson.
Robertson, yeah.
I thought it was Robertson.
Maybe. Could be.
Either one.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Both those Seans.
Both of those Seans did the Rifter number 85, I believe.
Tim Scott got him a second one, dude. You see that? Got him a second one.
So, yeah. So we're going to get really into Rifts. I made 2 characters for your game.
Nice.
You met the one, the what's it? The Leyland Walker. And he I fleshed him out the rest of the way. There's still I shouldn't say he's totally fleshed out. There is a section of the book where you can roll a bunch of random things about their background. I haven't done that.
Yeah.
But then I made an operator like I was talking about before. I kind of want to play him more than the Leyland. now.
Looking good. Does he have a robot that he gets a hold of?
Not a robot, but
Hmm.
you can have 2 vehicles. You get 3. Is it 3? 3 pilot skills in your list. They could be
Mhm.
anything.
Right.
And I chose some things. And one of the things one of the things you get as part of your equipment are 2 commercial vehicles.
Oh wow.
So he can. I considered commercial different from construction because they don't really list things as commercial vehicles that I could tell. So I picked up a Mountaineer ATV,
Hmm.
which is pretty cool looking,
Yeah.
and a jetpack.
Cool. All right. Nice. The I did that as well. I finally caved in and did that. Haven't gotten mine yet. I think it might have been after you told me you ordered yours. And I did the Humble bundle too. I got because I wanted all the PDFs. And I was like, you know what? And I got a bunch. And some of it I might get duplicates of. I might get the hard copy coming in whenever I get my handful of books from Palladium. But that's cool. And then I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna put the brakes on and play with what I have and see how it goes. So oh yeah, that's a good idea. Malachi said me and Legion were talking about the dungeon idea. Malachi said, it's the basic experts idea for this year. Instead of a dungeon, do a hex map. Yeah, Joe and I've got some stuff to talk about on that today.
The hex map is cool.
That is
And you say you have 5 rooms done. I quickly sketched out 22 or 23, something like that here. I haven't, it's just the bare bones.
Legions is probably immaculately written in classic D&D font with the text in the box and then the information down below. So his 5 probably beats your 20.
Probably. You're not trying to say he's a perfectionist, are you?
No, not
Maybe
Legion.
a teeny bit anal.
I knew the reason I like Max. He and I
Yeah.
have some similarities there. 2 peas in a pod, yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Simpatico.
yeah. Which, well, heck, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we should go ahead and just, since you talked about, maybe I'll go ahead and talk about Big Geek Adventures 2 here. Um, I'm not done. Shots, everybody. I got in there for David Gow whenever he gets around. I got looking at his notes. I missed a chunk of them. And completely am rewriting the beginning that I had. And the adventure's the same, but I'm rewriting stuff. So, but Joe reminded me that perfection is the enemy of good. Perfect is the enemy of good. So I've got to get something done and get it up on Big Geek Employment as soon as I possibly can.
Do it now.
I'm hesitant to give myself a date, but I'm going to. Next podcast, I'm giving myself a firm date. It's going to be on BGE by Blam. So there we go. Yeah. So what else you do this? Well, not a week, but oh yeah, Errant Dragon says, "Can Central Castings do dungeons?"
Yes.
Yeah. Looky cookie.
You
Central Casting dungeons.
if you can catch people sleeping, you can get it for a good deal on eBay. Unfortunately, when I put my bid down for one, it went above what I was willing to pay, and the other ones were way higher. So
Yeah, well, and mine's.
So I just have it on PDF.
I caught a beat up copy. I think I got it for $20 or $19, which is a pretty good deal. And
it's not very beat up.
No, it's nice. I'm just, but if you see it up close, you'll see it's been loved. You know what I'm saying? It's got some
sure.
But
it's seen use
right here. It's pretty. But you know what? It's nice. And apparently not too bad. It says back here it was $16.15. I don't know if you could read that at some store. So I only paid about $4 more than that. So yeah, I'm showing off. That's right, Errant.
Wait until February 15th to look for books, according to Shadow and Son.
Huh?
I wonder why. Where? On eBay?
Okay.
Maybe he's dumping a bunch of books there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. eBay, buy Shadow and Son stuff. Actually, I got to give him the stuff. He needs some of my crap because I don't need it.
I should point something out. I thought we were doing something else wrong. We were doing it correct accidentally when we were playing Rifts.
Accidentally correct. Okay.
I was casting spells like I could cast one every action.
Right.
Prior to Rift's Ultimate, you could only do 2 spells per round,
Oh,
even if
okay.
you have 5 or 6 or more actions. 2 spells,
Okay. Mhm.
I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. In the Ultimate Edition, it's broken down by tier, and I found that out by listening to their Rifts episode today while I was doing my route. So 1st through 5th level spells are considered tier 1, 6 through 10, tier 2, and then 11 through 15, tier 3, and then let's see, right. Am I remembering this incorrectly from your episode there, Legion?
Can only cast 2 spells per round.
First
Chain
through
damage.
5th level spells you can cast 1 per action, and then it goes up from there. 2 and 3 for 5th and 6th level, or for 2nd tier and 3rd tier. So higher level spells take more time. Maybe I wasn't paying attention correctly, but that's what it sounded like you guys were saying. Anyway. You're muted.
That was not me. That was somebody else. So first to 3rd level spells you can cast as many as you want.
5th level, 1st through 5th,
Mm-hmm.
it's 1 spell per action.
Ah.
So if you have 5 actions, you could technically do 5 spells. If I'm correct. So if I'm remembering correctly.
Okay. All right.
Glitter Boys, Malachi, is that another YouTube channel?
Yeah, I found a
That's
couple on
Glitter
this.
Boys, BOIS, Glitter Boys.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we did it. Apparently, we did it correctly. Accidentally.
Yeah, and it's a good thing because you might have been in big trouble if you couldn't start slinging some spells there when those aliens came out on that walkway.
We should probably be doing things a little differently. We were treating encounters like we would if we were playing D&D.
Right.
We really were, and we shouldn't.
No, it can really get you. You can get in a real pickle in that game. We'll figure it out though. I think even if it takes a whole array of player characters dead in the fields, we'll figure it out. I'm completely fine with that.
I'm sure you are, and I wouldn't mind playing the operator.
Okay.
He can work on everything except bionics and cybernetics.
Oh, okay. So he's a machine dude.
Yeah. Well, that's what they are.
Yeah.
According to the character description, they can't do the cybernetics and bionics. That's just not what they do. But you can also specialize.
A cyber doc for those.
Yeah, right? Yeah. They're trying to do niche protection probably with that.
Sure.
Because there's no thematic reason why you shouldn't be able to, because you have all the technical expertise. But because I have robot, this operator has robot electronics and mechanics. So, I mean, cybernetics and bionics, the electronics involved in them are smaller, but probably, I mean, electronics work similarly to everything.
I'd imagine in a Rifts world, though, the world is so daggone dangerous. And in some places, like in the coalition states where they don't want people to even read, I think it makes sense, even though it's a little annoying coming from a D&D and kind of especially a recently an OSE background where we have, pardon me a second, guys.
Right, Darth. You can have, I mean, any science, according, an operator can learn any science. So I know that there's requirements for a lot of these things, but they have plenty of skill selections. So it wouldn't be hard for them to get all the required knowledge to work on cybernetics. It's within their wheelhouse, apart from the end skills of cybernetics and bionics. But yeah, and as I was making him up, I was recalling how everybody's illiterate, but you really can't stretch that to the operator and similar. Okay, Legion, thank you. I was wondering, you were quiet for a little while there in chat. I figured you were doing that. 6 to 10 is 2 actions. 11 to 15, 3 actions. That makes sense. And technically it's probably a little more powerful But you're probably not going to be. I mean, my character didn't cast a spell every round, but he had to shoot things and had to take aim, which meant he had to take 2 actions. So he might have gotten 2 spells off anyway, which worked out in the old way. He might have gotten 3. Yeah, he got 3 because he cast. I thought was a smart way to do. Our juicer lost his armor, got hit too many times, and his armor got shredded. So I popped armor of Ethan on him, which will protect you from a single hit completely obliterating you. Because it'll, if I'm remembering correctly, an MDC armor, if the damage goes beyond the armor's capacity, it's the rest of the damage just goes away. Am I remembering that correctly from some other streams I've listened to? So if the attack does 15 mega damage and armor of Ethan at this level only has 10, the extra 5 doesn't carry over to you. It just goes away. If I'm remembering correctly, I hope I was. That's how we played it. Didn't come into play, but that's how we were going to play it if he got hit again. But yeah, we're new to it, so we're still learning it, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I know that there's reasons why I thought that the rules were wonky from before, and it was mostly, like I think a lot of us are coming to realize, it's more in the presentation, not the rules themselves, really. But it's an ultimate thing again. So I guess if the DM wanted to, he can just say, "Yeah, I'm going to use the OG method," because according to Maliki, in Ultimate it is, but in OG the wearer took the extra damage. Ouch! Because I think the juicer would have been killed because the damage went over initially to destroy his armor. It wasn't right on the nose. But yeah. Yes, of course I'm correct. Why would you say otherwise? So, haha. Yes, thank you, Legion of Myth. The rules are fine. The presentation sucks. Oh, really? Is it truly called the G.I. Joe rule? That's funny. Guess it's cinematic that way. It's okay, Legion. We're all allowed one ding. Just one, though. Step out of line again. I'm not sure what could happen. All right. So, what else did we learn about rifts? I think that we may have been a little intimidated by the it's known as that on the Palladium forums. Okay, that makes sense. You can even call it your armor has become plot armor. But I think we were a little intimidated by combat with its various steps. But I think we figured you could, after playing, we got to the point where we kind of intuited how to do it. And then I read about it and we pretty much hit it. We just did it a little incorrectly because we thought you had to, you could do both parrying and dodging if you fail to parry, but that's apparently wrong. You can parry or dodge. So yeah. Oh, hello, Bruce. And you are saying for cinematic play, implement the John McClane rule, where the side with the less people goes first. Well, if it's Randy, it could be a crapshoot when as far as that goes, because sometimes he likes one giant enemy, but sometimes he can just pile on. I mean, the foes left and right. That's an actual game rule. That's funny. According to Bruce, that's from the classic Tony Lee game, Extreme Vengeance. Is that a board game or an RPG or a tactical game? It'd be interesting to find that. Tony Lee. I'm not familiar with that person. let's see, what else do we have on the agenda? We were going to talk about, let's see, we find the outline. Let's see here. Right. I don't want to step on that too much without Randy being here because it was his idea. What else are we going with? Well, let's see. There was some stupidity on Twitter, which, you know, it's Twitter, so that's where stupidity lives. Oh yes, Bruce. What does he say? Extreme Vengeance is a theater of the mind RPG by Tony Lee from Archangel Entertainment. Mine is signed. He signed your brain. It is a theater of the mind RPG. Ha ha ha. Oh crap. He's not one of those young people dropping dead all of a sudden. That people want to keep ignoring. Oh, that's a different thing. I'm not catching everything from chat. Uche, was he a soccer dude? Is that the soccer dude? Bruce, you can watch Sport War again. That Uche guy died yesterday. Sport War? I've never heard of that. Okay. Died suddenly at 38. Is that what that might have been on Twitter as well? They kept showing some field and people kept saying, "Don't assume it was the jab." Blah 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 blah. And there's folks saying that they have debunked the whole rise in sudden death of young people. Oh yes, Flatey, you're probably correct. It's obviously climate change deaths. You guys need to read. There have been folks saying that it is related to climate change. Oh, the Bills. Yeah, you're right, Darren. I didn't know who that was either. Oh, a Geeks and Gamers thing. I don't know that channel very well. I tried to reach out to them early on to see if they would have us on or whatever, and I got no response. Sports Wars. Oh, I heard about the leg thing with Renner. I didn't know what it was about, but apparently he's in bad shape. Climate change. Yes, apparently because of climate change, various things cause various people to fall into these categories where they are at higher risk for sudden death. Oh, that's what you're saying. Well, there is going to be some changes, but it's not because of what folks are talking about. It's mostly going to be happening because the grand solar minimum is coming up at some point, where the the heat emanated from it, mainly in solar flares and other sorts of surface activity, is going to. They've called it the solar pause as well. That's all coming. It's all decreasing. And we're supposed to hit a lull in temperatures, which will make the climate change people pull their hair out. But it's an actual scientific phenomenon that respectable scientists, especially in the astrophysics area, will acknowledge. But yeah, it will figure a lot more into our overall temperature than how many cars are being driven around on a daily basis. Anyway, we're talking about gaming, or supposed to be. My partner is still gone. But yeah, there was a little bit of a blow up on Twitter with regard to Troll Lord games. Oh, Bruce says Renner clipped his leg with snow flinger. He almost died due to snow. Climate change is evil. I want a Suburban and a Subaru WRXi and a flatulence-addled pony. That's very specific, Mr. Bruce. Yeah, it's a little unseasonably warm here too in Michigan, in my neck of the woods in Michigan. I mean, it's been in the 40s and 50s over the last, say, few days. It had snowed, and then it was all gone inside a day, I think a day or maybe day and a half once the temperatures rose. Patrick says, and hello, Pat. And all of Twitter seems to pray for Renner's death. Why would they? He's one of them. I think. I don't know. I don't know anything. That's probably not fair to say. I really don't know. It just seems he's in all of their trash movies. So, oh yeah, well he's a white dude. Okay, you got me there. He should die and let other people take over his spots on all of these TV shows and movies that he's in. It's not fair. All right. It's warm here too, according to Green Apple, because we just had storms. Long shot. I remember one Christmas in Michigan being so warm in the 80s, my dad trimmed the bushes in front of our house in a t-shirt. Yeah, I was wearing my shorts outside. I had other clothes on too, but yeah. I was in my shorts, went to the store, probably got some looks. I didn't pay attention, but you know, it's how it is. Yes, that Overton window is such a finicky thing. Errant Dragon says the left can't make up their mind anymore. What's really left? They have changed the goalposts so many times, they can't keep anything straight. Nah. All right, so we've lost several people because we're not talking about what we're supposed to be talking about, because something's happened over on Randy's end and he's still not back. So I will keep going with the Trollord Games thing. Apparently there he is.
Sorry, emergency, but it's handled. Sorry, guys.
Are you okay? You need to...
Nope, I'm good.
All handled? Okay, good. All right, roll for initiative.
1.
Well, obviously you lose.
Yeah.
Right. So I was taking over for you while you were gone.
Sweet.
Hopefully well enough.
Yeah.
Trollord Games.
Oh, yeah.
Are we on that?
Let's do it.
No. Actually, we're not. We're on. I was skipping ahead so
Yeah.
I wouldn't step on your feet with.
You can do it. Let's go ahead and stick with it, and we'll go to the segments later. Let's be crazy.
Okay,
let's
crazy.
Random geek.
Crazy. We were already talking about the left being the way the left is.
Stick with it.
So, oh, is that Dave Simpson, the guy? So we're talking about Trollord Games.
Mm-hmm.
One of their, I don't know if he's a contractor or a direct employee, said some disparaging things about folks that don't play the way he wants them to play. I don't have the quoted tweet, but I think you had a sample of it.
I do. It's not Dave Simpson that made this. The original guy was a writer named Jason Vey. I saw it on Diversity of Dragons.
Oh, right. But Jason Vey said his bit, and then Trollord Games said their bit, and then this guy popped off with some stupidity.
Oh, I didn't hear about that part.
Yeah. So do continue with the Vey thing.
Yeah. So apparently, and I caught this on Twitter somewhere, or somebody posted on some left-wing page. It said staff writer Jason Vey took to his personal Twitter account to excoriate anti-vaxxers who were complaining about vaccine policies at cons. And this is the quote this guy had, so I'll take it as it was. I listened to Diversity and Dragons. Don't get on me. Seriously, only an arrogant, entitled middle-class white male with the worst kind of tinfoil hat wearing persecution complex would actually state that a vaccination requirement was championing exclusion. What the F? And that's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they all defended him, said he's on his own. He's on his own. Yeah, but he's still got troll lords in his bylines and stuff. You're still representing your company. I can't, you are at some point representing your company. But having said that, I was glad, and I thought it was very mild what Troll Lord came back to say.
Mm-hmm.
And they said a quick note to remind everyone that TLG, Troll Lord Games, has a games-only philosophy. We leave all the discussions in which society enjoys to engage to others. They have no place here. This is a place to belly up to the table with our friends and enjoy games. That was it.
Yeah.
And people were like, well, you're making a stand by saying that. Yeah, their stand is we don't want to talk politics. But they made up a whole bunch of bullcrap. So
Right. It essentially boiled down to it's not enough to disengage with politics. You must actively be political and on our side. Otherwise, you're a white supremacist.
Oh, he is gamers on games. Yeah, I know that cat. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So whatever, man. I got no. I hope Troll Lord stays cool with that and keeps their holding the line. I got a little surprise later on. We got a little contest we're going to announce later on, and there might be a little piece of Troll Lord's action as a possible winning prize. So, yeah.
Unrelated. While this was going on, I'd simply decided to go pick up the Player's Handbook for Castles and Crusades.
Yeah, do it.
I do have some of their stuff in PDF, but I went ahead and got a hardcover.
I'm going to buy a handful of things. I need a Castkeeper screen, a few other things.
There are 2 covers to the Player's Handbook. There's one that's reminiscent of old school, but it's not. In my opinion, it's not a faithful representation. But I'm being misogynistic probably. But I really do like the other cover because it's a dude facing down a serpent or a dragon or something like that coming out of a.
Hold on, it's not this one, is it? Because I have the Player's Handbook, the 6th. I have the 6th print. Sorry, guys, far away. It's not this one, is it? No.
Yeah, that one. That's the one I ordered. Yeah.
I think they have this is the 6th print, but I was reading. I don't think people on here can correct me. I don't think there's huge changes 6 through 8 very much.
Oh, as far as printings, yeah, I wouldn't know. So,
Bruce Lombardo. So Bruce said Dick's Division says, according to Chenaults, that's the 2 guys that write the game on the TLG server. Steven is all, yeah, it happened. Who wants to play? Right on, dude. Right on.
Because at the end of the day, some rando on Twitter bad-mouthing Troll Lord Games amounts to almost nothing. Probably nothing. Maybe even less than nothing.
I'm glad Patrick Demo said this. He goes, all these degenerate Fs are people who don't play Castles and Crusades, but they may have just sold me on CNC. I tell you what, I think a lot of folks have said this. Have said that it's kind of like what 3rd edition AD&D might have been if Gygax was at least maybe willing to consider, ascending armor class and base attack bonus. I like what I'm reading. It definitely keeps. It's kind of like a David Giles Dungeons and Delvers in the sense that it keeps the old school feel, but it makes a few more adjustments to the rules. But it's definitely got some nice rules that I would happily play. I was pretty enthused. I don't know if you remember, Joe, about a year and a half ago. I was pretty enthused about it. I still want to play it.
In Castles and Crusades, correct me if I'm wrong, is it an AD&D variant?
It's more of a mismatch. Well, you guys who played it, I would say on a quick run through, it's got the D20, 2 target numbers, a prime score, and a secondary score depending on
the prime and secondary.
And if you got a proficiency, you get a lower DC. I think it's a really nice game. I know Legion of Myth did some videos on it. I think you would enjoy it, but it feels a lot like 3rd edition, but it's nice.
It doesn't have racist class?
No.
Okay.
And it's got the standard races: elf, dwarf, half elf, no, half orc.
Level limits?
Its core only goes to about 12, but
Oh, so
no,
level
no, no,
limits wouldn't really mean a whole lot.
core, but they have extensions. They have rules for playing beyond that. Yeah, Bruce has got it. CNC is a 3.0 derived game without feats or skills. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Errant Dragon says in the 8th printing they added all the level ups to level 24, moved the assassin class to the appendix, if I remember correctly. Cool.
Huh. Well,
I like
the assassin probably belongs in an appendix because it really shouldn't be a player class unless you're really going for the evil group.
He says, Legion says, we covered 7th and 8th print. I like it more than Heathen Dog, who had serious issues.
Oh.
The Illusionist is kind of weird, isn't it?
It's okay. All they have to do is change, like Heathen Dog says, all you really have to do is change the name to something else, and then it makes sense. You can kind of call them a mentalist or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, RPG is dumb. My one for riffs. That was the dude. Welcome, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. We said the same thing at the same time. That's because Illusionist is more psychic than magic. Yeah.
Yeah.
They should call it something akin to a psionicist or psychic or something like that.
Malachi clarifies, apparently he knows more than me. There are racial-like classes in the character archive, which is a book for extra ideas on new character classes and stuff, I believe. Yeah, Patrick, I do too. I'm when we get off today, I'm buying stuff. So
yeah, I can't be the only one that was thinking that way.
No, I'm buying it. Yeah,
and apparently, and RPG is dumb is from he has his own YouTube, right?
Yes, he does, and he runs a sweet ass Rifts game that I was playing in with Legion of Myth. We had a great time. And
was he the DM?
He was the DM.
Okay,
so we had a good time.
I remember some references by one L person to him.
Yeah.
Drink Earth Dawn.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, Flady. I think Joe could understand that. And he said, anyone read the Assassin series from Robbins Hobb? I felt it was a good presentation of an assassin that wasn't completely evil. You can do it, but yeah, I don't know.
Correct. But if the requirement, I know the old requirement for the assassin is to be evil. Oh,
look at this. Errant Dragon has piqued my interest. There's a good Dark Sun hack for CNC.
Oh, that's cool.
For sale or free?
Huh? Yeah. If it's a hack, it's probably somebody who's done it on, just a thing you can download, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, CNC is on our list.
I didn't know they had a veterans discount. I should have.
Yes.
I did not take advantage of it.
Fan made. Yeah, CNC is on our list this year. We are going to be playing Dungeons and Delvers, CNC, and then Rifts, of course. We're in the middle of the Rifts experience. Are you experienced?
Can you ever be experienced? Yeah, I was talking about Rifts earlier. So we're going to segue over to learning new games.
Hold on 1 second before we do. Did you talk about how not only did Diversity and Dragons have it, but RPG Pundit had a comment on it? And I liked his video where he basically just said, look, they shouldn't have to defend. It's okay if the fans defend Troll Lords. They should just keep quiet and do their own thing. They're kind of saying that's what we're about. So, cool.
The more they put their foot out there, the more it'll end up back in their mouth. So it's better for them to just say, yeah, this is what we're doing. No apologies, no nothing. And if that dude gets talked to, I know the guy on Diversity and Dragons or Dungeons or whatever it is.
Yeah.
He was saying that they should have made a public statement about what he said, and I really don't agree. I think that any good business will handle employee relations privately.
Right.
It's not good for them to jump all over their employee out in the open. They're just opening themselves up for a lawsuit if they do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they are. And it can just be their preference. I mean, I understand the argument that it is his own private Twitter account, but they also have the right to say, hey, don't Don't drag us through the mud here. You are still representing us.
I mean, if they chose to do that, that would have been their decision.
But
But I respect
privately would have been
it.
good.
Privately is better, and it's possible that they did, and then he offered up his lame, reason for being a dick online.
Yep.
But yeah,
And,
yes, Patrick.
Yeah. TLG should completely ignore everyone and just let those sweet gold pieces roll in. You know it.
Right.
Cool.
Blue Box RPG streams a CNC campaign, according to Longshot.
So does Dungeons Musing. So there's a handful of folks that are CNC is kind of popular. I know. Legion says I kind of agree. If your TLG is in your byline, you're kind of representing the company.
Yeah, that's fine. But I do still believe that any employee handling is best done behind closed doors and not out in public. It's not good. I don't even like it at work. We have an open floor plan where we sort our mail with a desk of our supervisor kind of in the middle. And if she has to handle something, she does it right there in front of everybody. Not anything real serious, but if she has a question for you and she kind of maybe chides you about your performance, perhaps, she might just do it right there. And then I'm looking around. I'm like, why did you just do that in front of everybody?
Yeah, it's not a great way to do it. I learned the hard way as a teacher. It's also not good to excoriate's not the word, but to just call students out all the time. I mean, sometimes you have to. If they're doing, I taught high school. Sometimes students were doing dumb stuff that was kind of dangerous. I had to stop them. Say, hey, bozo, stop it. But I'm better off taking them to the side and say, look, dude, you can't do that. And I got more mileage. And when I took the time to wait and take them to the side, I was also calmer. That helped a lot too.
I like what Errant Dragon has to say, and he's probably correct in some way, if not completely. TLG's Twitter comment was really just directed at the TLG employees, the way it was phrased. So not only and it could have served two purposes, letting everybody know what their stand is, and then letting the employees know what the stand is to shut the hell up about stuff. And Longshot says, praise in public and reprimand in private, unless it has to be otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah. Good point. Oh, okay. You want to hop back to our main topic now?
Yeah. Let's do that. Main topic incoming.
All right. Learning new RPGs. Boy, I dread this. I'm getting better only because that's my New Year's resolution. I don't want to learn new RPGs. I haven't always been this way. In fact, I used to not be that way at all. I mean, look at all this crap. I thought I was going to do it. But when I sat down with Rifts, I was like, immediately I was like deflated just looking at the book. And when you learn, I guess now that am I rare like in most gamers? Do most of you guys, do you, Joe, do you relish the idea of, man, let's learn a new game and do it?
I'm showing this again because I was just this isn't how Randy reacts. He doesn't go off the deep end. This is when Kirk, I think this is when Kirk was possessed.
Yeah.
This is the episode when he was possessed by the woman. So female scientist who wanted to run the starship.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I just thought it was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not exactly that, but part of me Longshot says Ribs is like drinking from a fire hydrant, but it can be satisfying.
What you do is you put somebody else in front of the fire hydrant, let them get doused, and then you just, the stuff that ricochets off of them will be fine. But yeah, it can be. I think we're going to consume it in bits.
Oh, Bruce, if anyone is wondering if Starship Warden is good, then just go ahead and buy it before it's really rare. It's amazing. What is Starship Warden?
I was not wondering that.
No, but now I am. Yeah, Patrick is not afraid. I will vouch for Patrick. He is voracious. Yeah, and L had to stick it to me really good here. If you can't sort your game shelf, do you have time for new RPGs? No, I don't. But I do have to buy them because I've got a problem.
You can only really play one at a time, so as long as you just
Oh,
yank the book out, you're good.
welcome,
Oh,
Shadow.
Shadow and Son.
Yeah, dude's in the house.
Shadow. Thank you for
Man,
sending some folks by. At least one of
yeah,
them said that you sent them. That's cool.
yeah. But so obviously, when you're gonna do it, we're gonna learn riffs. What are you looking at?
Starship is massive, I hear, and like
Oh,
900 pages.
oh.
So the previous sharing of the screen is valid, and I just did it.
Mm-hmm.
900 pages. The book is too long.
Is it? This is not. Oh, what am I thinking of? Warden Jim Ward. What was the old school game where they had a world ship? Help me out, guys. Yeah, Metamorphosis Alpha Starship Warden. Oh, that's what it is. Oh, it's a TLG book. Malachi says it's a TL. So Troller Games written by Jim Ward. Yeah, that's it, huh? Starship Warden. Can you can still purchase that, huh? That looked like a bruiser.
Let's see here. Only one of us should be looking this up. The other one should be running their mouth.
Okay. I like to run my mouth. You look it up.
Yeah.
I tell you what, read the book so you're going to learn a new game, right? Doodle Squatch, gosh, keep asking the Rifts questions. Is there a DM screen for Rifts like with all the tables? I do not think so, but there's an index, I believe. So I don't think so. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I don't think so, Doodle Squatch. When you going to learn a new game, Joe, I know everybody says read the book, play the game, make a character. Someone said that earlier about making a character. Who made that comment? I've got to find the comment. Was it Errant Dragon? No, it was Malachi. Rule number 1 when learning a new RPG, create a character as you read the character creation section. I do believe that's a good piece of advice. Are the rules for this Starship? So the rules for Starship Warden, that is, you have to have Metamorphosis Alpha? It's just a supplement book, I take it?
It'd be hard to believe that it was that. Oh, they have a leather. No, sold out.
Oh, he's not kidding.
It's already sold out. They have a leather. The regular book is $80, 648 pages. So not 900.
But hey,
still, that's long.
that's a bruiser.
Even the collector's edition is 648.
Wow.
Let's see.
Oh, it's a game in and of itself. And I assume, is it the Warden, the world ship that's traveling from a ruined Earth to try to find some other planet for a bunch of people that were saved from the planet?
Well, this is cool. They sell factory seconds here at
wow.
Trollord Games, where if it's damaged, they'll sell it for cheaper.
Cool.
Half price. But it's sold out too. So
yeah, so it's written for Alpha, Metamorphosis Alpha, and the Siege engine. Ooh. Okay.
It doesn't look like they have a PDF version here. It's just a hardcover.
He says eBay has it, but that's probably going to be $5,000. Maybe not.
Let's see, eBay.
But
not eBay, not eTay.
Ute.
eBay.
Oh, Shadow and Sun says the Arduin book is 900 pages. Nice, dude. Oh, Joe was looking that up.
Yep. 139.77.
Is it for the leather one though?
No.
Just the regular?
Yep. Almost double.
Yeah. I love the idea. Yeah. Shadow said wait until after Valentine's Day for eBay purchases. Well, I'll trust him if that's what he says.
Is that all you're saying? Or are you going to, throw us a bone?
Malachi got his for less than 80 on Amazon. Malachi's just cooler than us.
I suppose.
Yeah. That's all there's to it, dude.
Let's see. I have an Amazon window as well. Let's see here. Starship.
Okay.
Starship, not Starship.
Joe must find the game. He must know. He's on the hunt. That's my dude.
You can get, there's only 10 left, $80, and it can be yours. $80 even.
At Amazon?
Yep.
Okay. Joe's going to buy me one. Excellent.
No.
Buy us both one.
No.
Perfect.
I've already spent entirely too much on books here recently.
I don't know enough about Metamorphosis Alpha if it's something that I would actually play. Martinson says there is a Rifts GM screen, $42. What?
Should I bring up Captain Kirk again? Because that doesn't sound like it's too long, but it sounds like it's too much.
Yeah, for a GM screen, but of course Rifts have a million tables, a million skills, I guess.
Yeah, it might be very useful, but if it's organized like their books, it won't be.
72 panels.
Yeah.
Complete circle around your body.
It'll go around you just like a Neil Peart's drum kit.
You die. Make this check. Roll lower, roll higher, +4. Carry the 1. Bruce says I should run it the whole cabin con. If you show up, bring the book. I will. No. I will not. I don't even know the game. Probably gonna. Yeah, he says. Flighty says he has the old one, the old Rifts GM screen. They're out of print. There are 2. Is it good, Flighty? That's the question I have. Is it good?
You're just as well to get one of those blank DM screens where you can slide sheets in and out.
I have 2.
Make your own, or either you make your own, or you find something online you can just print out and slide it in, and then you can have 2 of them, and then you could have it all the way. Well, it would take more than 2 to go around me, so might need 4.
Yeah, I'll need about 96.
Legion says that it's not a game; it's a mega dungeon. Starship Warden. It's a spaceship mega dungeon. Is that like a derelict ship you go on there and then get a face hugger on your face?
I don't know. I think it should be. It's not. Yeah.
Oh, I think he's daring you. Bruce Lombardo is using strong words on Randy. What's the matter, Colonel Sanders?
Oh, son, you're pushing me. I may just do it. I am easily persuaded by peer pressure, so be careful. So let's get back to the actual topic, right? Learning new RPGs. Read the book, play the game, make a character. How many times you got to play it before if you know if it's for you or not?
That all depends.
Oh, I knew it. Hit me, Joe.
I mean, it could be 2 or 3 times, 4 or 5.
Because 13th Age did a number on you. You thought you were digging it initially. You were liking it. It was fast play. It was cool. Then after a while, you're like, this is a little.
Yeah. All the all the shine wore off.
Yeah. And it was because it was just a little bit too much loosey-goosey.
Right. So one of the players wanted to have a taser. And taser is not detailed in the game.
That was the strange.
Well, still.
Yeah.
Oh, 13th Age. Okay. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same kind of issue.
Mm-hmm.
Too abstract. Too many abstractions. Oh, Martinson has sent you a link.
Excellent. Patty's back, baby.
Hey, what's oop?
Me too, Mr. Boivin. He says, I am fascinated by how a designer approaches the issue between an engaging game and a simple game enough to be managed at the table. Yeah, and for some people, complexity, simple management is not they don't care. I mean, Joe here, he likes kind of complex games. You can
I
sink
mean,
his,
you can get overly complex, but you can get
yep,
overly simple. So I like some complexity because if it gets too simple, then it's not much. To me, it's not much of a game.
yeah. What game would you say
Oh,
is
hold
not?
on. We're going to stop the press.
Uh-oh.
Uh, Patty has a complaint.
What?
He didn't get the notification.
Hmm.
So did you click the bell to be notified?
We'll give
But
you
that is kind of a thing to YouTube, though it touts all these automatic systems. Uh, they don't work out that well. I think that whatever I'm gonna ring your bell. um, I think that they probably have so many people using their system that um, things just fall off. Like subscriber counts can go up and down without you even seeing anybody actually join or not or unjoin. And then there's this lack of notifications, even if you have the bell clicked. So
yeah. Yeah, that's the interesting thing. Trying my hand, not very successfully, but my partners are doing a good job of thinking about a game, and they both lean toward a little more complex games. Yeah, Joe, probably should tell them, dude. We've been chatting like crazy. That's a
yes,
good.
please sub, share, and whatever that scribe. Just scribe, not subscribe.
Yeah.
Just scribe. Yes, like, share, and subscribe. Um, if you feel like supporting us directly, you can go to some of our links that will be in the description over at Ko-fi, also at Streamlabs. If you find yourself wishing that you could give us a super chat, but because our subscriber count is too low, you could always do a subscribe star. You could always do a Streamlabs donation, or you can go to Ko-fi. Yes, overscribe.
Ah, Mr. Boban's got it.
Um, yes, you can go to Streamlabs and donate there. You can give us a tip over at Ko-fi. You can also go to anchor.fm. We are there as well. And the patented PayPal at Biggest Geekus. Either of those.
Patty, we're not talking about that, dude.
It always comes down to naughtiness.
He's naughty, guys. He's not a sub. It'll be a Dom.
Dom scribe.
So, anyway.
Yes, thanks, Shadow, for sending folks over. We really appreciate that.
Oh,
Hopefully they won't send you any hate mail because of their experience here.
So we're going to get to this question, but do you prefer to watch? So to me, the obvious thing: read the book. I like to make a character, play the game to see if you like it. Do you want to watch how-to videos now that that's a thing on YouTube? Is that would you think of that immediately? We're going to play
Not
Cast
for
Crusades.
role-playing games.
I want to go watch this video on it.
I mean, if it comes up on a channel that I already watch or listen to, I'll listen. But for role-playing games, I prefer just to jump in feet first and make a character, read it as little as I possibly can as a player to just get my character together and know how to play the character. If it's a fantasy game, that's not a problem.
Right.
If it's like Rifts, it doesn't really take that much to wrap your head around the elements there because it's basically just a different themed fantasy game.
Rifts
high-powered fantasy.
Easy. In Rifts is easy to think of the rules. It's skills roll under percentile, attack D20. Not hard.
Not hard.
But when you look at that book and it's thick and it's got all these except, but, and this with this, that can throw you off. But that's not really.
Hey, David.
What's up, man?
He has the right of it. D20 OSR D&D stuff. a how-to isn't necessary.
I
It all
agree.
plays very similarly.
I agree.
They all have the same DNA.
I do like the idea, or I love teaching games when I'm really experienced at it. Sometimes when with my friends, I don't mind like learning a game, but I wouldn't want to try to. I've played games at cons where people didn't know them at all, and they were trying to run them, um, and it was kind of painful as we were because we got 4 hours, dude. We're barely learning how to play the game, let alone actually play the scenario you're outlining. Um, I think for me, I want to get it to the table fast and let the players help me. Like Joe helped me last week. He was like, "Dude, you were doing this parry thing wrong and dodge wrong, and that's cool." And plus, it saves me from having to read as much.
Well, and I didn't interrupt play with that. I waited
No.
until we were done.
Right? Did you know it at the table that I was doing it?
No, I couldn't remember correct. I didn't. I mean, I've listened to so many of the Palladium streams from Max
Mm-hmm.
that I thought it was going to be no problem, but you just don't remember it all. So, plus, I listened to a couple of the combat ones, and they're all fairly similar. So I just, kind of just glaze over probably when it comes up again.
What's up, David? Patrick made a good point here. I watched a live play of Invisible Sun, hosted by the designer, Monty Cook, and I vowed to never make that mistake again. I'm still on the fence whether or not I should charge Monty Cook for my view. Yeah, and L asked if he ran the game. He is. Wow. If that's an example of the kind of DM he is, boring.
I mean, there was a very short video of him running a little bit of the Strange.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can do a better job than that.
The guy wrote it.
Yeah.
But
it's very, very sad.
This could be about writing games, playing games, and running games are very different skills.
Sure.
Very, very different skills. And if you don't do a lot of one, if you're a big time designer like Monty Cook, I guess he still is. He makes lots of games. He may not have as much time to play. And Aaron makes a good point. He may not be fun to watch. I mean, really watching, I wouldn't be fun to watch. You watch me DM, it's not much fun to watch people play. I mean, that's weird.
It could just be watching people play the game isn't fun to me.
Yeah, I think so. What's Bruce saying?
For worst live stream, Trollord needs to hang out with us and get cool kid tips for fast play.
Do they? And I love me some Monty Cook back in the day. Early third edition, I thought his stuff was great. David Gall makes a good point, and I agree. Every game designer should play his own game. Yeah. Now, Malachi, I'm going to say this. He says he's watched games run by Chris Perkins. I was not impressed. I played a Star Wars game with him as a DM at Gen Con. This would have been pre-third edition, like a year before. And yeah, it was it was Star Wars. And he did a bang-up job, but he also wasn't working for TSR at the time. He just had a couple of dungeon adventures. So who knows what has happened? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Chris Perkins? Is he the one who? I don't know if they're still doing it. Acquisitions Incorporated. Is he the one who runs that?
That's going to have to be a chat question.
Because I know that running that, he's like super underwhelming. If that's Chris Perkins, it might be
third edition. Like I said, he ran a great game. I liked his adventures in Dungeon during 2E. I even liked, what was that 3E real thick Paizo published adventure. I have the collection before the old what they're called, the adventure paths were around. It was kind of the first adventure path, but it was more like episodic in Dungeon magazine. He was pretty good.
So it seems like I'm correct. It seemed like the way they ran that was for entertainment purposes only. As far as anything else about that, it was just about the personalities at the table and being funny and stuff.
Right.
To me, he didn't really run a game.
Yeah.
He just presented entertainment.
Malachi says his favorite GM is Robert Schwab. I've never seen him GM, but I would imagine if Shadow the Demon Lord is any indication, he's probably pretty crazy and fun. I would guess, but who knows?
I mean, I don't doubt that they're not doing it anymore, David, because they couldn't for a couple of years because they canceled Gen Con because of being fraidy cats. But yeah.
Now, I do think Matt Mercer does a bang up job of what little I've seen. And speaking of what little I've seen, speaking of Matt Mercer and Critical Role, side note, I did watch Vox Machina with our buddy Trent at New Year's Eve get together. I have to say, I'd tried to watch before, but all the sex and cussing was just too much. And so I just let it slide, kind of ignored it. And you know what, dude? I don't think I'll watch the second season, but that was a pretty good show. It felt like a D&D adventure, and the way the characters acted, you could picture D&D players saying some of the stuff. I thought it was not bad at all, actually. But, the sexed up stuff, the little gnome guy, like he had to do with a lightning bolt, and he did a hip thrust, and it came from his groin, the lightning bolt did. And I was like, come on.
Whatever.
It was almost like they were 9 years old.
Yeah.
No, and other than that, when they were being when they weren't getting crazy about it with their sexed up stuff, there was some good parts. There's some good. I mean, one of the guys grabbed this vampire dude at the end and held him while the cleric, or was it the druid, blasted him with like a sunlight type spell and disintegrated him. It was kind of cool.
That's funny.
With his ears. Yeah. Yeah, that was tough.
If a game needs a video to teach it, it failed at design. Look at that girl from Girl with a U from Dice Breakers that did official, how to D&D videos. That's not Ginny D, is it? I mean, she did a lot of stuff like that too, from what I understand.
I don't know. People think they need it. I think sometimes more complicated games, or even more games, people just like to see it played. Like you used to watch back when you could stand to watch Will Wheaton. What was that show he did?
Tabletop.
You liked that a little bit. You thought it was kind of
cool. I got tired of it like I tire of every TV show. So I'm not really one to maybe set a standard by. But at least in the first couple of seasons, it was just, here's a game. And sometimes he drank a lot, and so did his co-hosts, and that was kind of funny to watch drunk people. I always like watching drunk people.
If you had your druthers, Joe, just you, and you're going to learn a new game that you're interested in, let's say Iron Falcon. You had talked about being interested in something like that one time. Or just some OS. Let's get more exotic. Let's say you never played Deadlands, the original rules. Would you rather play with a very experienced DM, even if it was like a con setting or an online setting, to learn the game? Or would you rather just us get it and give it a go?
I'd rather us do it.
And
now, if we had questions about stuff, then you go online and find that stuff out. Legion, I think has got the downcast look because we were talking about Will Wheaton, but you have to understand, when I started watching Tabletop, it was more of a Star Trek connection for me, and I had no idea all the hate out there for Will.
I don't think we knew who Will really was. I think he started. I saw something on him, some video someone put up, how he went down that road and made it more clear. He says, Legion says, I backed Tabletop Season 3. That happened to be the one where he openly showed his woke colors. Yeah. I don't think he did initially, right? Initially, he was kind of a gamer dude.
Yeah, he was just, hey, I like bacon and beer and games, and let's do this. And it was fine. Then they were either showcasing a game that they made or something, and that wasn't very good.
No,
but an RPG, and he had some folks on there doing RPG stuff, and I just didn't think there was much to it.
Patrick and Mr. Boivin got the right of it. Patrick says it's more like Will Wheaton has hate for us, and Mr. Boivin echoes that. He says the hate for Will. You mean from Will? Yeah,
but still, when if you even mention Will Wheaton's name anywhere, everybody's like, "Arr!" and pitchforks and everything, and that's a reaction apparently to the way he is. So he's the stereotypical con. I'm a famous person. Stay away from me, you filthy peasants type of person. Apparently,
Yeah.
I've never seen it because I don't go to cons, but and yeah, he loves that phrase. But if I didn't know anything about him from the internet and from the con behavior and from his awakening, if that's what it is, I still wouldn't understand, because some people just hate him from Star Trek. I never really understood that.
I saw a video where they said he rewrote his parents off.
Oh,
yeah,
such a douchebag. But
okay, hold on. I'll announce this. David, obligatory at Randy Nichols, where's the draft? Okay, here's the deal. So I was about ready to get it all lined up. I was inspired. I had written much longer background, which you asked for. I had missed a whole chunk of your suggestions. So I'm rewriting the background, condensing a bit, and I'm going to go back and fill some things out. So I'm still behind. But next week, I'm announcing the date that I'm publishing this dang thing on Big Geek Emporium. It's going to happen. So
yes.
Stay on me. I deserve it. Appreciate it.
I think that if you don't have it done by next time, you're fired.
Oh, dude. I better call into work next week, first week of classes. I can't make it. I must work on a D&D adventure.
You have to have your priorities straight.
Or get fired from my hobby podcast. When you get that book and you got does learning a new game is fun for you?
What about learning a new game is fun?
Is the act of learning a new game, whether we do it in any format or not, is that fun for you?
Well, it depends, but most of the time it is, because there's some theme in the game. There is, as you're reading the rules, you're imagining you playing through the rules and stuff, and that's fun. Like, and then I do that with games that I know, like with D&D. You imagine your character being high level and how it might be. So same kind of thing with, say, riffs. That's why I said earlier, I made a operator, and operators are support characters. They're not going toe to toe with anybody.
No.
But after I got done playing him, I could just making him up. I could just imagine him tooling around in his Mountaineer ATV, hauling everybody around, because we wouldn't have to worry about getting trucked out by the city's vehicle and then being yelled at because there's no radio in it.
Yeah.
You don't have a radio? No, it doesn't come with one, and they're expensive, so I have to wait. And that's another thing about risks. Getting any serious upgrades to our equipment, we're going to have to work our butts off if the money that we've gotten so far is any indication, because you're talking 20, 30,000 credits to get anything respectable. Hell, if our equipment, we have to, the juicer has to replace his body armor. Or repair it. Considering most of the armor has been destroyed, we may not be able to replace it. It may be too expensive to replace.
I thought the payment I gave sounded good, but I'm not sure it did. RPG is dumb, says operator is powerful with time and resources.
Yes, sir.
I would imagine. Now,
the justification I'm going to use for having him around and not being in anything, not necessarily playing him every time,
sure,
is if we get together and there's one or two other leyline walkers, well, Harn will be off studying and learning new spells, obviously, because that's what they do. And we'll be joined by, and I haven't got a name for him yet, the operator. Flip side, when I play Harn the leyline walker, The operator would be off repairing and helping out in
At the base, yeah.
in the
All
base.
kinds of groups are going to need help. You aren't the only groups that go out and do stuff. So
And it's going to be RP. I'm not going to expect you to give him any cash or anything for any of that because it's not going to be fair.
no, we'll see how. Once I get a feel for the game, I can think about stuff like that. Patty made a good comment. Patty Parlor said, "I do love learning new games, from board to card to TTRPGs to war games. I just don't always return because some things are only worth a try."
Yeah, that's
I
true.
agree. Yeah, some things are just worth a quick stab and call it good and move on. Do you? Here's a question: when you're learning this game, of course, I don't think anyone would say you have to know all the rules. In fact, as I said before, I would rather just have the basics and then jump in and see what happens. Does anybody feel they need to have a really good grasp of everything before they get started? Do they get frustrated? You get frustrated if, like, the DM is like I know you don't, Joe, but some people might. If the DM's like, I don't know that. And Joe was constantly saying, when I would pause and not be sure, he'd just say, make a call, make a call. But Joe's got the old school feel, so he didn't care. And it had been a while. I mean, I'm not as comfortable with that as I used to be. I don't know what has happened to me with my modern gaming experiences, but I think sometimes intimidated is not the word, but I've become, I think since third edition, I've come to rely on, I think I need to know the rules when I know that I don't have to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's the thing. I like a little complexity, but I don't like overly simple games, but really complex games or just overly crunchy games. I don't think third edition was all that complex.
No.
It just had a lot of material.
Yes.
And but I can see where you could get used to having so many rules and feel that you need to know them because there are so many edge cases that they have rules for.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we did, like we were doing with riffs, just make a call, we'll roll with it, no big deal.
Yeah, like I said, I've got a new appreciation for riffs, and even on the complexity level, I don't think it's complex. I do think there's a lot of corner cases, but I think even Max at Legion of Myth told me, dude, just play it cinematically and let it go. And Longshot nailed it. Riffs is best when you do rulings over rules. Yep.
And honestly, we were only a tiny bit off with most things. Even the movement, we were worried about movement. Really, there's not a hard and fast rule, and it's spread out because of the way they do presentation in the game. But we were doing it right.
Yeah. And Mr. Max says, Van says complexity is not I think he meant singular axis either. I think there's a difference between complex and convoluted. I find the character creation of riffs convoluted. I don't find it complex. I find some of the table stuff convoluted in Rollmaster. That wears me out. Check table G for the critical hit, this and that. But sometimes it depends. Are you trying to be a simulationist or just kind of for me, I think I've said this before, my preferred level of complexity is Savage Worlds. It is. But I realize there's not much meat on that bone. I wouldn't call it a simple game, but I wouldn't call it even remotely close to games that have a lot more crunch to them, like a Pathfinder. It's not Pathfinder. It's not 3.5. I really like Savage Worlds. It's got enough for me as a GM, but I can understand how players could go, I need a little bit more. So, yeah.
Right. And I think I understand what Mr. Max Boivin is saying here about depth and width.
Mm-hmm.
Width being something like 2 character classes as opposed to maybe 15, and depth would be something akin to having the rules go out to level 10 as opposed to level 20 or 30, and stuff like that. That might not be completely correct, but yeah.
It's not, but it's got a lot of corner cases, and it's got a rule.
And it has a lot of corner cases. Sorry for stepping on you there.
Oh, go ahead.
But it also just has so much stuff, so many classes and races and spells and magic items and blah, 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 blah.
And admittedly, we made the mistake of trying to allow it all.
Yeah.
In our last campaign, so I can't get really upset at the game. And Bruce, we played the crap out of Pathfinder, and I still like it. I got all my Pathfinder stuff. And I keep saying, we may come back to it one day. I may get a group together. Joe would not be completely annoyed if I said, hey, I'm playing Pathfinder one day. You want in? He'd play.
I'd be okay. Not second edition.
No.
You pull out second edition, you're getting a hit in the nuts.
Not shot. I'll just put that Starship Warden down there. You'd never be able to hurt me. 656 pages. Kick away, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll hurt.
Yeah.
Probably both of us, because I'll hit it hard enough to hurt my fist, and then it'll just kind of nudge your junk a little bit. You're like, ah.
Shadow and Sun says, I don't know about that, Bruce. As a player, it's okay, but I doubt I want to DM Pathfinder. Honestly, dude, once you've DM'd it for a while, the third edition engine, it flows. And I streamline it. Dude, and I streamlined the crap out of it. I had Pathfinder down. You guys didn't know what I wasn't following rules exactly. It didn't matter because I knew all the nomenclature, all the language. I required my players to know their character, tell me what they do, and that was it. So, yeah.
You can almost make it so that it doesn't matter what combination someone brings. Almost. So, and you were close. I think you were very close.
Yeah. I was the closest, I think, of all the DMs. I just wasn't put off by what you brought. I just let things happen. And if I knew who was at the table, it really didn't matter. I knew how to challenge that group of 5 or 6 characters. I mean, I hear Bruce talk about it all the time on Dick's Division on his podcast. He knows how to bring it, make him sweat. So yeah, it's cool. So you play this new game and you really like it. We were loving Rifts, and clearly people are buying the books. When and should people eventually commit to buying the books?
Well, I think if you're going to be playing it for some duration, you should at the very least have enough of the rules so that you can competently play your character. Mm-hmm. You don't necessarily need to buy the DM's book.
No.
If you're just going to be playing, you don't necessarily need to have a physical book as long as you have the PDF and you can either access it from a device or you just have your character all printed out and you know how to run it. You're good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think with games that have SRDs, like Pathfinder 3E and Archmage Engine, I'm sure there's others that have SRDs. You don't have to buy stuff.
It all depends on the game. Some of them don't have free-to-play rules or fast play rules or anything like that. Like Palladium, they don't have anything like that.
No,
but you can get their books. Their books are probably the cheapest, some of the cheapest by page count in the biz.
Yeah,
as far as I know.
I think D&D though is one that's the easiest to not have to buy anything. If you're a player on a budget or a player who doesn't want to own a boatload of books and don't even want to buy the core book. I mean, we got into 13th Age and I was trying to tell people, hey, don't jump in and buy it yet. We can make it work with one book. And then eventually we're playing it a lot and some folks bought it, some didn't. But it's fine. You can play really well without owning the books. I do think, though, if you're playing a game that's got, especially a newer game, it does help if somebody else has the book. But I would never, if I'm like, dude, we're going to try this new game, Shadow the Demon Lord, I'm not going to ask Joe and everybody else to have a copy when we show up. That's too much. I'm doing it because I want to try it, and it may suck.
Right. So I think if you're going to, you probably want to run at least one session, maybe probably 2 or 3, maybe even 4, to really say, I like this. Let's keep going. And then people might feel like they need to buy some books. But
yeah. Shadow says something. I've felt this. He goes, maybe I just have too many other games memorized. I have Game Master for over 100 different game systems, and it feels like I'm running out of storage space in the old thinking meat. I haven't had too many systems, but the 3rd edition, the 3.x systems did, I don't know. 2nd edition was heavy too, and I memorized the living crap out of that stuff.
You play in these games enough, you'll get the important rules. I don't believe anybody knows every single rule perfectly, but you will know enough of the rules to run a smooth game, and that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anything else about learning a new RPG you wanted to chat about?
Well, I just wanted to say we're probably going to be we are doing Rifts currently.
Yeah, right.
We will be getting into Castles and Crusades at some point, you say.
Yep.
And What was the other one?
Dungeons and Delvers with David's game. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so like those have to happen. Those have to happen at my table. When our buddy Larry, Mr. Elliott, comes back from his long hiatus from Michigan, I may make the switch. Then I may go to Dungeons and Delvers, or I really want to get Castles and Crusades because it's hot. It's the hot thing right now. Everybody's all mad about them, so I want to put it up there. Making a return. What, Patrick? Another edition? Anyone want to blast from the past? How Atlanta is making a return, a 4th or 5th edition? Oh,
It probably all depends on how much the game is.
Patty's the greatest secret we can never let the DMs know. They never needed a book to play. That's a fact. The DMs don't need a book either. You really don't.
I guess technically, if you're just if you're saying you're going to use the SRD rules, sure. But if you're going to say that you don't need any books at all and you're just going to wing the whole game, sure, we can probably have fun doing that. But it won't be, if you're going to say you're playing D&D and you're just winging your own thing and it's just kind of superficially similar. It's
right. Well, my thought is this with Patty. Bruce connects it here. TSR games are harder to run and keep going in the high levels. It feels like they weren't made for high level. I don't think they were. But having said that, I have never had, would you say, Joe? I've never had the issue of a game being too high level for me to run.
No.
That's kind of a thing I've been able to do.
It can get tedious.
It can get, Pathfinder wore me out sometimes, but then I fixed it. Then I found my groove and I picked I actually adjusted my own template for preparing the Pathfinder game, and it made things a lot easier. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that if anything, what stopped us playing Pathfinder, I think, is when they announced 2nd edition and had that stupid page in there telling you about inclusion and crap. If that hadn't happened, we probably would have kept going.
Yeah. I think I misspoke because Elle said something that I agree with, sort of. If you're just screwing around and faking it like Chandra, you don't need books. I don't know about Chandra. I have no comment on that. But I will say this. When I say I don't need books, what I really meant was eventually I don't need books.
Correct. Because
in 2nd edition, I didn't need a book at the table.
I think really quickly, we won't need to reference the books very long with riffs. Because we will know what we need to, because combat is initiative, cycle through, one person attacks the other person. If they have a hand-to-hand skill, they can parry or dodge. If you don't have a hand-to-hand skill, you can try to dodge. But apart from that, everything else is kind of case-by-case, edge case basis for the things that you can do. I mean, if you write down all the saving throw possibilities for the various situations on your character sheet, you won't need the book for that. Write down.
Patty's got a question for Big Geek Emporium. We might as well answer it. Hey, how's the timeline for the new site coming along? I'm not publishing any of my books anywhere else. Oh, cool.
Well, thank you for that support. We've recently had contact, and apparently the holidays screwed up their timeline, which is fine because it screws everybody's timeline up. And I asked for some clarification on the new when, and I haven't gotten anything back yet. I'm hoping very soon. I'm sorry, I can't give you anything better than that. And I really hope it doesn't turn into it's coming soon 3 years from now, because I won't put up with that. But I don't think that's going to happen. It's a 2-man crew, and ours isn't the only work they're doing. So, and they gave us a good deal. We have to give them a few allowances since they gave us allowance as well. Certainly not saying my stuff is going to be good, says Patty, but I've certainly put a lot of heart and soul into them.
If he doesn't say it, I'm going to say it. It's going to be good. I believe. Yeah. So yeah, riffs, Dungeons and Delvers.
I just want to say one more thing.
Sure.
Until we get the new site I'm going to continue not taking a commission.
Dude, look at you. Dang
So
it, man. We got to get a hold of Raggy. We got to get a hold of Grim. We need those people to put their stuff on our, well, if it's palatable. I mean, palatable just means not illegal. I mean, I don't have to read it, so we can sell it. So
yeah, I don't. It's not like I read all the stuff that comes across
and
because I don't have time.
really sell pornography, but I mean, yeah. Other than that, yeah, and legal stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So Dungeons and Delvers, we are going to do, especially after I get mine, hopefully around the 10th.
Yeah, I'm thinking we're going to play Rifts for the next couple months, then Dungeons and Delvers, and then probably Castle and Crusades, maybe our end of the year game.
And speaking of which, David sold another copy today.
Sweet.
Hard
Yes.
copy.
That's a beautiful book.
And several, over the last few days, several PDFs. So,
on our site, Patty says, I know Venger is planning on loading a bunch of stuff up this week.
That's what he said.
Hope he does.
We'll see.
Good. Yeah, me too.
I hope so. It'd be great.
Everybody, do your thing, man. Bring it. Oh, all right. Cool. We going to tell them to do the things?
Yes.
I'm going to step out again. Sorry, Joe, but I'll be quick.
Please subscribe if you are not already. Subscribe, hit the bell notification, share, and share alike. Oh, that's a particular license. Anyway, share this live stream / podcast thingy with your friends and your enemies. I'm sure they'll all like the show, or they'll like to talk about it and point fingers and laugh at us. That's fine too. But yes, Legion, unless it's illegal, you should sell it. And that's what I'm doing. There's absolutely that. At first I was saying nothing risque, but I changed my mind on that rather quickly. And Big Geek Emporium, as long as it's not illegal to distribute in the United States, we will sell it. Oh, Joe Shadow and Son had a question about the website. Let me scroll up. Scrolling. Oh, okay. Right. That's a thing between he and I. Yes, you are still waiting to hear from me. Yes, I should get that together. He had Taco Bell. Not likely. He's not a Taco Bell dude. But he's got a lot going on in his house. He's got yeah, there you go. They said you were having the runs.
I did have to go pee pee.
Oh.
Is that TMI?
Yeah, it didn't.
No.
They were trying to say you had Taco Bell. I was telling them you're not much of a Taco Bell dude.
No, I literally should not eat anything from Taco Bell. It all has gluten. Every single item.
Even the stuff with corn chips?
Correct. Their corn is made with they have a flour thing they do.
Oh. And you never know. They probably have it mixed into their meat-ish thing.
Shadow had a question about the site. Martin said,
I took care of it.
Good job. You're so good, Joe.
Well, I kicked the can down the road a little bit, is what I mean.
So ask the next guy. We don't know. Talk to our people.
Yeah, that guy over there.
I'm your people. You're my people, and that's it. We're the people. Crap. I hate that. All right. Shall we move on to the second segment then?
Let's see here. Second segment. Yes.
Question. It's 9:13.
Yes, it's 15. You got 15 minutes to get to the 2-hour mark.
Okay.
You know what we could do?
Yeah.
Is Randy Nichols an elementary school teacher? You never taught elementary school, did you?
No, I just subbed. I've subbed at every level of public school, even kindergarten for a short bit, but I've only taught high school and I taught college some, and I taught community college. Yeah.
Oh, community college. So basically,
Tim Scott is not wrong.
No.
I got
so yeah. So what we could do, we could bump. Well, no, that's different. Yeah, we can bump this week, what we should do is just kind of overview it, and then
Sure.
if you want to,
Mhm.
we can talk about what else do we have left.
I do want to mention something about Mad Scribe magazine. I want to pimp that out before we leave.
Okay,
Oh,
so we
Mark,
can do an overview, maybe do a room, and then
sure.
just a heads up, big thunderstorm rolling by my workplace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Storm's coming in this neck of the woods the next couple of days. Yep. Okay, yeah. So why don't you take the lead. Let's do that. Take the lead.
Okay, so we were both inspired by the talk of Dungeon 23, which is having a dungeon room a day, determining, constructing a dungeon room, on paper every day of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And what that does is at the end of the month, you have between 28 and 31 rooms, depending on the number of days in that month. And that is a level of the dungeon. At the end of the year, you have 12 levels, and you have essentially a mega dungeon that you have made. So with that in mind, I thought it'd be a good idea to give it a overall theme. And the overall theme that I talked to Randy about, and he's agreed to, he says, the theme is something along the lines of the Mad God built this.
Mm-hmm.
So what that precisely means,
right.
Rumor, innuendo, myth, legend. The name of this god has been forgotten in time, and then and he constructed this massive thing. And Elle says, I don't think that is mega, and you guys are 3 days late already.
We're going to catch up, dude. We're going to do it.
365 rooms isn't a mega dungeon?
Okay, fair enough.
12 levels. I guess there's bigger.
Oh,
but I think there's definitely bigger, but mega, I mean, everybody else is calling it, maybe everybody else is wrong.
Tinkar calls Temple of Elemental Evil a mega dungeon.
Yeah.
So there you go. And I don't fully disagree with him.
Yeah. So I guess it all depends.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. So basically, and that's going to stay loose. So if this thing is used by other people, you can make whatever you want to out of the Mad God.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just have hints and little bits and pieces strewn about the whole thing, more for obfuscation than anything else.
Dude, merciless. Let me guess. Randy is building the room, so Dungeon 20 will be ready in 2025.
Technically, I have 23-ish rooms already drawn up roughly. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually way ahead of the game. Well,
and Joe's given me all the empty rooms to describe, so it should be fast.
Should be a lot faster.
Yeah. But we're hoping to get one level done soon and put it up on Big Geek Emporium as a free thing.
Right. So at the end of each month, there will be a full level detailed out to some degree, and it will be released on Big Geek Emporium for free. Yes. And at the end of the year, we both agreed it'd be cool to put them all together into one product, fleshed out a bit, and then put up for sale.
Right.
So you have the whole thing, maybe a bit more details about what's going on, maybe more fleshed out, more professionally done. Is this going to be us drawing it? Unless somebody wants to help us out, we might end up hiring somebody more toward the end of the year.
I think we have to start with a low amount of commitment, dungeon a day. We're going to split those up, get those done for next week, hopefully, and maybe have some stuff to share with you guys as far as that dungeon goes. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
So Malky is in agreement with you. Elemental Evil is considered the first mega dungeon published.
I can do it more professionally, David says.
I'm sure you can.
We were kind of hoping for that, David. Oh, but yeah, that's kind of what we're hoping for. How about shall I talk a little bit about Mad Scribe, or do you want to go into
Yes.
more? Okay,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
Mad Scribe magazine. I got a couple folks here that's participating. I have as well. It is a new magazine by Mad Scribe Games. It is attempting to be a paper magazine. It's going to be a paper magazine. It's going to have a lot of all old school sort of feel. It's brought to you by the man who created Encore, Kingdom of the Gods, science fantasy RPG. Let me grab that. I have several of the books I kickstarted or whatever for Mr. Sims on that. Joe will have the link in there to Patreon where you can
Patreon.
Patreon where you can thank you, where you can support it. Looks like Patty's Parlor. He drew a comic for the first issue, most excellent. And David Guile has an adventure for the first issue. And I have an article on dealing with random encounters already put in. It is actually sent and done. So that's pretty weird.
They want us to have a full page ad.
I know I've got something, but it's not really good.
And I'm not an ad guy. Randy's not an ad guy.
Right.
I mean, I have no idea how to make an ad. Full page even.
Right.
To me, that's a lot of pressure. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I mean, I can just write some words.
I can pass that on to our buddy doing it, but this is not my puppy. I'm just participating as one of the biggest geekest to put a little bit into this. I got my article in a couple weeks ago. And he read it, liked it. I'm sure it's got to be cleaned up, but I did all the a couple pages. And like I said, it's really cool to hear that David and Patty are part of this. So I was hoping, so I'm not shocked that some of you guys are participating. I'm really excited.
You know, I was thinking about
It's a physical magazine too.
Yeah, I'm actually, yes, David. I mean, yes, I was kind of hoping the opposite, to be honest, but I'm not surprised. I mean, how many people here, if any of us were really ad people, marketing and all of that, salespeople, we would be helping each other out with that. But no,
Right.
I don't know that any of us are in that. But what I've thought about doing is cracking open some Dragon magazines and looking at some of those full page ads.
There you go.
And maybe making something that has an homage to a past thing and just, modifying it to our purpose.
Do you want me to show what I've got so far or not? You want me to share that or not?
Huh?
Do you mean me to show you how
Well, some of these folks probably already saw most of the text was in the
it was in your
newsletter that we sent out.
Did you see what I added about our stream and stuff at the end? Did you see that part?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's not that great, so I won't bother.
So, David, are you saying not a bad idea to look in the Dragon magazines? I mean, it's a gaming magazine, so at least the genre will be right. And then if we pick one and then retool it to our purpose, I think that's the best I'm going to be able to do. Mentioning, I think the big thing it's going to be a selling point for us, since that we don't have any traffic really, is not in any functional way, is to say, there's no commissions at the moment until the new site comes up. And that's another thing. It would be great if we already had the new site. Then I would be more comfortable directing a lot of people to it. Anyway, where was I at?
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I was just going to mention what our great thing is that you just do your thing and I don't bother you. You put your stuff up, you do your creation, you put your creation up, and I say thank you. And that's all there is to it.
Oh, Mr. Boivin says, go ask GTP chat for recommendations. I don't know what GTP chat is.
Oh, I'm not talking about plagiarizing, Max. I'm just talking about getting a feel for something and maybe doing something that's more of an homage, not plagiarism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
GPT chat. Is that a channel? Is that on Twitter?
Yeah, I don't know. But the magazine.
No. Isn't that the AI thing? The GPT chat. Isn't that the AI thing? Yep.
Might be.
Text AI. Right. Yeah, but the ad this isn't a print magazine. So the ad isn't just a bunch of text. There should be some So there will be more to it. Imagery, colors, all of that. So there's more for ad is an ad is marketing mixed with art, in a lot of ways. And so I'm all thumbs with all of that.
Back in, he was asking what we were talking about, and I said, get back in the art room, chain him back up.
Yeah.
We're probably going to tap him for some
Crack the whip.
sweet artness. So, but yeah. Okay. I think that's about it, except we should mention something about the contest next week.
Yes. We have a contest. Oh, we were supposed to tease that out. We forgot.
We didn't tease it. We're horrible at teasing.
We're not good tease.
If I say PP, I'm probably not very good at teasing anything. So, our contest is going to be another make a guess sort of maneuver. The question is, and the answers will come next week, and do not answer today. We'll give a chance during the chat, where you're going to make a guess as to how many official Planescape products, second edition, that you think that I have. Number. Official Planescape products that you think Randy, the biggest geekus, has on his shelf. I have counted them. They have been, and has been decided. Whoever gets close without going over a win. If multiple people are tied, we will roll. That's true, Tim Scott, which is unfair, but it is. And the prize is a choice. You can have one of 4 items, right? Yes, we will find out who is the biggest Planescape fan. Probably me, David, but I'm not giving anything away yet. So one option, the winner will get either Legends and Lairs D20 Mythic Races from the 3rd edition era by Fantasy Flight Games. I didn't realize they published it. It's a source book with 3rd edition sort of stats and all that for a variety of Mythic Races. Another option is, my buddy Patrick got me this, but I'm putting it up. Star Wars Edge of the Empire role-playing game, the beta rules. If you're interested in that for, again, Fantasy Flight game. Sorry about that. And this is an interesting item. Cardboard Heroes, Castles, the Keep. Basically, it is in the shrink. I have 2 copies. This is one you would get if you wanted to choose this one. You can make a castle, a keep, out of this cardboard stuff. I don't know all the details. Stands alone, looks something like this, I believe, is the finished product. So that would be an option. And the 4th choice.
And that's Steve Jackson Games.
Steve Jackson Games.
Did that.
Thank you, sir. And the 4th choice we just decided upon. Joe made a good decision just before the show in honor of Troll Lord Games. I'm going to give away Castles and Crusades, Monsters and Treasures. I believe this is the 5th printing, yes, by Troll Lord Games. It is a beautifully illustrated book. In fact, I'm giving this away, and I'm purchasing another one. So I would like you to please take a guess. Next week, we'll get you thinking about it, and then everybody will take a stab at it, and the closest without going over. Patrick says he does not have that book. Patrick, are you talking about the Star Wars Edge of the Empire? I thought you gave me that, or did I get that from somebody else?
Well, if he gave it to you, of course he doesn't have it anymore.
I thought he and Joyce got multiple copies at a Gen Con one time. Brought me one.
Maybe it is somebody else. You're remembering incorrectly that gave it to you.
Maybe it was possible. Yes, it is. It is the 5th printing, Malachi. 5th printing. Yes, sir. I just checked inside. So if you want to see verification, let's see here. The very bottom. Whoops.
I don't. Yeah. 5th printing.
5th printing. Yes, sir. So I want to buy the new one they have for sale with the cool.
First book is what he's saying.
Oh, you do not have Mythic Races D20. Okay. All right. You did not have this one. Yeah, I got several of these. Yeah, but those are the options. The winner will get to pick one of those, and we may give the others as options later on too. I want to do a few more contests. I want to get hot and heavy into the contest.
And the contest is in a celebration of the fact that we broke 350 subscribers we were at 351.
341.
No,
Last
I'm
week.
just saying when before the start of today's stream, we had 351. We're now at 352. Thank you to whoever just subscribed.
David Giles says, does the count include Planescape miniatures or box sets? Every official item that is an official TSR second edition Planescape product, yes. I'm not going to say. I'm just going to leave it at that. Second edition Planescape product. How many do you think I have? I own. It's more than 2, but less than 1,000.
So if anybody else is experiencing any lag from us, I'll mention there's some lag. That might be a problem from his area, but it could very well be us. We are both in the same area where there is some thunderstorm activity, so it might be affecting transmission remote to us to the various through the various cables and the different things that transmit. So hopefully it's not widespread amongst you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't detected any lag at all from Randy. Usually there's a little bit. He probably sees some on my end, but
David Gow, what about Blood Wars cards? They were official Planescape products, so they count if Randy owns them.
Sounds like David is knowledgeable.
David thinks he has more than me.
He might be a contender in this contest.
He's saying really cool things that make me think he has a lot. I still think I'm going to win.
How are you going to win?
Well, because when they find out how much I have, they're going to be like, ooh, Randy's Planescape stuff. Or maybe not. So.
Okay, good. I'm glad. So they're saying here in the chat, Patrick and Mortensen, who also live nearby, they're saying the storm isn't going to last long. That's good because I still have to get my dogs outside without getting totally drowned.
I feel like David's throwing down a gauntlet saying he has more Planescape stuff than me, Joe.
He might be. Are you two comparing things?
We are. We're comparing sizes of Planescape. I'm going to win, David. Go out and buy some stuff because I'm telling you, you've already lost. Maybe not.
Oh. Ooh. That might be coming up on eBay.
Dude.
If he's hinting, he's got 2 box sets. He might be selling one. If that is the case, I would love a heads up because I would so buy that.
Yeah, but you may not want the price he's going to sell it for. If he puts it as an auction, you're not going to get it, dude.
No, because I won't go very high on an auction.
Right on. Plane measuring contest.
It seems like a euphemism of some kind.
It does. He knows his Planescape stuff, though. He pulled some obscure ones there. I better not say anything else. I'll give too many clues away. Because you guys know I have more than 2 already. Because David has 2. Not for
You're such a tease.
Well done, Shadow. No one should ever sell Planescape stuff. That's heresy.
Okay, so Shadow doesn't sell his stuff anymore. So what the hell is he talking about? Spill the beans.
Spill the beans, son. Oh man, I think probably time to get out of here. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah. Oh, just a heads up though. When are we supposed to be paying attention to eBay sales?
Yeah. Oh, Joe's got to know. Damn, 2 is his guess. Yeah, that might be a not great guess. Legion's right. That's how much I have. It would make him puke.
No, I think just mentioning the word Planescape.
It does make him quiver inside.
So yeah, I know there's a date that he was saying that we should pay attention to on eBay. Don't buy.
Oh, Shadow's selling 50-year-old minis. Interesting. Huh.
That would mean something along the lines of original like metals.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they weren't doing plastics back then.
No, it's all metals. Unpainted, I would think. Or painted. Not sure. Yeah. Says, yeah. February 15th, says Malachi. After Valentine's Day at Joe, says Green Apple.
Oh, it's just a trend. He's talking about trends. Okay, that makes sense too, because they do happen. Those sorts of things do happen.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Bruce says that's going to coincide with a tax refund. Oh, boy. So, yeah, the contest will be next week. We'll kind of build it up at the beginning of the show and give away at the end. And so don't be guessing during the show. We will ignore your guesses until time. Because Joe will
Yes.
be like a madman. So,
all righty.
okay. All right, man. Well, if Joe hasn't told you already, you should definitely check out all the places where you can catch our podcast and YouTube show being here. We're on all the socials, videos, and podcast places as well. PayPal for cash support, or Anchor, or Ko-Fi, if you just want the one-time sort of gift. We have our website, www.biggestgeekspodcast.com, which is still being manipulated and massaged. Our email and Big Geek Emporium, always go check it out. We got some great creators there. Anything else before we book out of here, bud?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, this is Randy.
And I better set some things up here, or we'll be looking at each other.
This is Randy getting ready to say this is Randy, and yet I've not said it, giving my fellow YouTube compatriot time to set things up.
Yeah, I'm good.
He's good. All right. Hold on. We got to go. Malachi says, if Randy and Joe ignore my guesses, I will ignore them. Good night, everybody. Thanks for being here. It was awesome. As I said, always, this is Randy.
And this is Joe.
And remember, you can't be big like us, then be geeks like us.